Oh, hello there, outliers. Niiamah Shang here, and thank you so much for letting us be a part of your journey today. I am Niiamah Shang. I'm the founder of Outliers Edge, and today we have an incredible roundtable here. I would love for you to get to know the outliers who are here, who have chosen not just to be outliers, but to take the thing about them that makes them different and go out there to make a big difference out in their world, right? They've gone from outliers to trailblazers, and I'm excited to have that conversation here today. Let's give us a chance to meet our awesome outliers here today. Christy, why don't we start with you? Would you mind letting us know more about you and the game you're currently playing?
Yeah, my name is Kristy Painter, and I'm in Rockland, California, which is about an hour from, about 45 minutes from Sacramento. And I have my own business. I actually am a real estate agent, so I have a passion to kind of pull the covers back. I have a passion to really bring home ownership and stability to people, because home is just so much more than just walls. And so I think that it goes beyond just like it goes beyond the transaction. It's really about our hearts and our dreams and being able to allow those dreams to come through for people. It's just a huge passion. My other side is wellness too, and and so that's kind of it. So what I'm really building is that path to have people just achieve their dreams, whatever that is.
Yeah, I felt that there. Did you say the other path is about wellness?
Hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
I've always been like real estate and wellness like together, and I finally combined them two into one. Years ago, I was like, wait a second, I can do this all together.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, outliers. If you're paying attention right now, this might be an unlock for one of y'all out there right now where you're like, wait a minute. I can do thing one and thing two, and I can combine them together. Like, yes, yes, indeed. There's a reason why I invite the people here onto this podcast. You've chosen, you create your own path. So, Christy, thank you for that right away. I didn't want to just to gloss over that because I was like, I think
Yeah.
I'm hearing something here. And at the end of this year, what I'm hearing is that it's all about bringing people's dreams to life, helping them bring their dreams to life, pulling back the covers on like anything that's holding them back, and just like exposing what they really want and going after it. And you do
Mhm.
that practically, tangibly through the real estate element, but also like through the wellness overall.
Mhm. That's a really nice way to say it. Thank you.
Well, that's what you. It's what in my mind. I'm just repeating back. I'm just like I just want to make sure I see you. I'm like I think this is it. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah,
That means a lot.
yeah. I got you. I got you. Helen, why don't we get a chance to get to know you? Would you mind sharing more about you and the game you're playing?
Sure. I'm so grateful to be here, actually. So thank you. My name is Helen Mei Chan, and I am from Toronto, Canada. And I am a teacher and also working on people's well being. So I am a sound healer as well. And being a music teacher of on and off 20 years, I have experienced a lot of stress with other teachers. And that's why I was like, okay, I think teachers really need help. So, me getting training as um, a Tao hands practitioner and a Tao song practitioner. So, basically, being a sound healer, when I sing, I let off a particular frequency and vibration that calms the heart and the mind down. And when you do that, you don't get stressed. And when people get stressed, that's when they get sick. So, I'm trying to teach people how to get better on their own and teach them tools to empower themselves and not rely on external factors. And at the same time, I'm also very motivated to bring out my single. I have created my songs and I'm hoping to bring it out to the world so that it'll help everyone to feel more calm and relaxed. And that way we can all have a more peaceful heart and mind.
Hmm.
That's fantastic, y'all. And um, I had a chance to experience something with Helen the other day, and I will say, like, um, there is something about your voice, something about the thing that has actually uplifted me all throughout here. So thank you. Hopefully, we all get a chance to experience that at some point. Awesome, Shira. Let's get to know you. Do you mind letting us know more about you and the game that you're playing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm an author, and a podcaster and filmmaker among I just love doing creative stuff. And the reason why I feel so driven to do this is because I feel so called to just bring beauty in life. And here's the thing, a lot of people think that art is like kind of like a side thing, but I think, like the Dead Poet Society quote, that art is exactly what gives life meaning, like the reason why we do things. And often that's why when you're feeling either depressed or when you're feeling anxious, sometimes you'll turn to movies, literature, music. All these things um, are really just ways that we try to find, again, the beauty in life. We're trying to make sense of life. We're trying to find the meaning in it all. Um, I'm also working on right now starting a podcast on education and children's literature and things like that, especially as I was homeschooled for 13 years. My mom actually wasn't fluent in English when she started, but she felt like God was calling her to do that. And so she did it anyway. And 13 years later, I'm publishing a book in the language that she didn't feel confident in. And it's been surreal and it's been incredible just to see um, how, as a Christian, like I see God's hand through the whole process and see how everything is knit together with a beautiful perfection, a beautiful irony. Like my mom didn't feel confident in English, and yet God has just given me so many insane opportunities to be able to explore the world of fiction, the world of screenwriting, um, photography, all that sort of creative stuff. And it really all goes back to that beauty, like finding the beauty in the unexpected places, like in those weak spots where you're like, what on earth do I have to give? Sometimes the moments where we feel like we've experienced the most pain or we feel the most vulnerable, sometimes those are the things where we find the most unexpected beauty. I think the movie Collateral Beauty did it really beautifully, where they were talking about how even in grief, for example, you can find the collateral beauty of being able to somehow understand the pain that other people go through and be able to empathize in ways that you could never even imagine.
I'm excited to
So
explore that
yeah.
here. I think that's going to be pretty interesting here. I'm curious to see how like the beauty like emerges in this space here. I'm grateful for each of you. Grateful for each of you. So we're gonna get in here. I I wanted to check in here. So Helen, when you were describing what you did in your voice, I remember I brought in like, hey, this is what it was like for me. Um, I also told each of you like I'm more about the experience than about like talking about things here. So, Helen, I sent you a quick note here. Would you be open to doing something? It would be something short, like a minute or so, but just to then I want to check in with you. Like, one, would you be open to like leading us through something and having us get a chance of an experience of healing with you? And then Christy, Shira, would you all be open to that in this moment as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Helen, are you open to sharing the gift?
Totally. I'm
All
so
right,
ready
cool.
to do it.
That's a totally with an exclamation point. And then, outliers like I'm excited for you here in the sense of like take the gift first, all right? Receive first, and then we'll talk more about some of the things afterwards. So, Helen, like, would about a minute or so would that work?
Yes, that would
Okay. All right,
work.
cool,
So
cool. All right, cool.
all I ask is everyone to close their eyes and just relax. Relax the top of your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your back, your hips, your legs, all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And just be present. And picture your heart opening up. I will be singing, and you will be just receiving. And at this time, I'm going to ask everyone to relax and ask for a blessing, make a wish, and believe this wish will come true. I'll give you one moment for you to make that wish. Okay, that was song, appropriate blessing. Start. Hey ya yo. 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 Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appropriate blessing. And so now I'm going to ask everyone to take a big breath and slowly exhale. Taking another breath. And release. Taking one last breath. And slowly relax and release. And when you're ready, you may slowly open your eyes. And you may share your experience.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Helen. I'm gonna have us all let that wash in, right? If you're cool, we're not gonna share the experience right now, if you're good with it.
Sure,
But I
yeah.
want to give us the, unless look, if you want to say anything, y'all, you can definitely say. Um, but I thought it'd be really awesome to see like where would this conversation go given this year. Christy, Shira, Helen, anything you want to say just like for yourself about this experience? Do you want to say anything before I ask another question? That's really the thing.
I did want to make a comment. Sure, when you're explaining about, your beauty, I was just sitting here thinking and listening, and like I think we all share that perspective. And I was thinking about, what I do. And when you're talking about beauty and finding beauty, that's actually a big crux of what I do with my profession, is finding that beauty in that stress, in that transaction, in all the just the chaos and that survival thinking, and bring people back into that state where it is a beautiful experience. So when you're explaining that, I was like, you know what, that's actually kind of what we do. And so thank you for sharing that. It was awesome.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Yeah, honestly, I feel that 100% because the point of, I think the reason why people love beauty is because it's that idea of perfect harmony
Mhm.
that we are all seeking, and that's something beautiful that you did, Helen, that you were able to like just bring like again through song, through music, through all these things, we're able to see. I think that wholeness, we get like a picture, a taste of wholeness. I think there's a German word or something like that called Sehnsucht, where they describe that feeling of like something when you know something is so beautiful and it almost hurts. It's so beautiful, like watching a sunset that's so perfect. You wish you could capture it in a jar or something like that and keep it forever. And yeah, and so yeah, I love that you guys are also like into that whole thing. It's so beautiful to see like-minded people.
Like-minded and like-hearted. I think that that
Mhm.
goes to
Mhm.
with it. I've been finding I'm like I don't mind different-minded people. I actually encourage that. I'm like oh, if you think the same way I think, then it's like not as much fun, you know. But if you can think differently, but we come from a place of this
Mm.
like deep heart, you know, I think we get a lot of room for innovation and opportunity and so on and so forth. Well, I'm grateful for you all here. The game name of the game for me is to keep there's one thing to talk about things, and I think that like a podcast gives us like lends itself to like a platform to just kind of spill out. But it's another thing to actually have us like experience, you know. I think that like I'm appreciative of us like stepping out, trying things, looking outside, and allowing for things to take place. And um, yeah, outliers. I'm gonna invite you. Like, when is the last time you gave someone an experience of what it is that you do, right? Whether it's the experience of catching the beauty, the experience of seeing like being able to slow down and see the wellness through what is mainly what could be a really stressful period. Like Christy, I just refinanced our house. You know, like I'm like, oof, oof, you know. And Helen like being able to bring the healing right there, so we get a chance to actually go with it and experience it here. So I'm going to play with this myself here. Uh, staying on the realm of experience, I'm curious about like how y'all are bringing like something that maybe only you do, right? Something that might be like uniquely you, perhaps a bit quirky, but also on the other side of it, like I was like almost like people be like, how do you like? I've never seen anyone else do this, right? What's an experience that you do or that you bring into the work you do or the way that you live life that kind of has that like unique signature to you? Anyone want to jump in on that?
Well, for me, I've been busy composing songs, and my songs are based on my personal experiences. Like they're very heart wrenching, but I believe it's lessons learned. And each of my songs is just teaching humanity how to deal with the stress in their lives. And some people will cry, like they're going, I presented some of my songs to two autistic gentlemen, and they were like, wow, they really felt so touched by it, because a lot of the time we shut ourselves down and we don't know how to express ourselves. And I express myself through singing. I express myself through my music. I express myself through composing, and I'm so grateful for the meditations that I do, and being a sound healer, that I have the ability to heal myself and transform myself and turn off my mind and, be more calm, and I have that tool inside of me. And that's what I want to do by doing sound healing for people around the world and for teachers and especially for children. So Shira, I completely love that you are doing like children's books, because children are our future. Like, I love children. I love them like they're my babies. Everyone who's asked me how many kids do you have, I have 1,000 plus children. Those I have 20 plus years of teaching. So, each of these children has made a difference in my life, and I believe I have made a difference in theirs. I'm not one of those normal teachers, just tells you what to do and you follow what I say. I'm more like, I learn from you as much as you learn from me. And that's why I created the podcast, Fall in Love with Teaching Again, because a lot of teachers sometimes focus on one, getting the work done, getting the curriculum done. The government has given us this set time frame and number of subjects that need to be taught at certain time, and it not focusing on the children's well-being. It's just like, I'm focusing on getting my work done. Number two, maybe they could be stressed themselves, and so our energies are interchangeable, so we will be like affecting the children.
And
And
what's
if
the third thing?
the third thing for me would be, but I just have to say, the children are our future. You know, I have had childhood wounds, and it's been subconsciously buried. And I learned that in my meditation. And it's just like, I have had these wounds since I was in kindergarten, and I am now 46. And it's like, how long have I not been awake? How long have I been acting like a robot? And that's one of my songs, and it's like trying to wake you up and not be a robot anymore, and really be aware of being present and not living as that inner child that was wounded, because that inner child that was wounded affected my self-esteem, my self-respect, my self-confidence, my self-worth, my self-love. Like it just that's why I feel like I want to make that difference to the children. But how can I get to the children? I need to get to the teachers.
Nice. So I'm like, as we're saying this here, I'm seeing some nods. I'm seeing some things come in here. Christy, my energy is being pulled in your direction here right now. All right.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank you for magnetizing that. Um,
anytime.
yeah. I I want to keep expanding here, like, because y'all have your own like unique take on doing things. I think like what excites me right now, I'm gonna just check in with myself, like what would really excite me to ask. Like I get curious about like what's something that you're building right now, what's something that you're creating, what's a take right now that you that isn't finished or that's like in progress, that you're bringing out to life. I'm really curious about like what's something you're doing right now nowadays. Yeah.
So what I'm personally building on is legacy and creating that legacy of peace, joy, prosperity, harmony for my kids and my grandkids down through the generations. That's really what I'm working for because the purpose of life is to experience. And we are manifestations of that experience. So that's what I'm bringing into the world and bringing that legacy down through my line into others. So that's really what I'm building right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you say has like been like the most unexpected like challenge or gift that you've gotten as you've been building that?
Um, the most I would say the most unexpected gift was to be really go super, super deep in who I am and finding my ancient soul in my soul and really getting to know without the traumas, without the challenges, but just purely stripping everything away to experience me. That's probably been the biggest exciting experience of it all. It's just like, wow, that was really neat. That was amazing to really and really to embrace that and to have that confidence and that courage to let that out and share that with others.
I love this here. Like there's one, y'all like never cease to like amaze and surprise me. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that, like as a response. So like just thank you for playing this game. I think I want to toss this question here to all of y'all, right? And like this is to be in the space of, it's called outliers edge. And so one of the things that like there's many reasons why I use the word edge. But one of the edges for me is like to be in the place of like being uncomfortable, right? Leaving the place of comfort and getting that place that's uncomfortable. So I'm curious for you all, like, let's just toss this into the space around like what's one of the edges that you're leaning into right now for yourself? And tell us about like that experience, how's it going for you? Like what makes it an edge? I think it'd be really cool to just like bring that into our space and have like all of us like in this conversation as well as in the outliers listening and being like, oh yeah, I get this one. Shira, you wanna kick us off on that?
Yeah, sure. So when you say edge, do you mean like the uncomfortable parts that we don't really always want to deal with and that when we do we get stronger, or like edge as in
You
like
should have a really
cutting
good
edge?
you should have a really good definition of it. You're fine. I ask my questions open-endedly for a reason.
Right.
If I like because I'm interested in your interpretation. I want to see you, and I see how I get to see people through how they interpret things. But I also think that like I don't know, the part of the outlier way is that like our path isn't laid out for us. There's not like
Right.
signs along the way. So that's it. So yeah, I'm curious about your edge, however you want to take it.
Yeah. Hmm. I think I think honestly it's kind of interesting because the edges are always the the parts of life that are they're not clear, and that's what makes them difficult. It's that you're teetering, think of a plate, okay? You're teetering on the edge and you're trying to walk this line and you're trying to make sense of it and trying to be on this path. And it's so difficult sometimes because sometimes the path doesn't seem to be clear,
Mhm.
and we expect life to look like like um like a road, like a straight road. It isn't really. It's a winding road where we take detours, and yet those detours are exactly what we were meant to go through at the same time. Um, So
Would you
I,
mind sharing with us one of the plates that you're walking on right now?
hmm, plates that I'm walking on right now. I think one of the plates that I'm walking on right now would be balancing um, art and business and marketing
Yeah.
because the two seem to have been divorced for a really long time. But the truth is, times are changing. You can't just depend on, a record label or, an executive producer or things like that or even like a publishing company. Publishing has been changing so much, it's insane. To do your marketing and your business stuff. So you have to walk this thin line between doing what I think everybody does today, especially with all the advances in AI and things like that. We have to walk this edge of do I make this what everybody wants, what everybody seems to be doing, and that everybody seems to be going for, and that seems to be working for everybody? Or do I do something completely original? Do I break the mold? And how do you marry those two things into one? Because that is where you find your area of genius when you're able to create something new and satisfy a demand. That's where you get genius ideas in, business, in art, in science. Like that's just the way things work. But again, it's that whole idea of walking on that edge. It's your edge, but it's also like an edge. It's difficult to walk on unless you know your purpose, because then your purpose guides you, your mission guides you, and it guides you through all of life, and it's like that north star throughout those dark nights. That's how I
Yeah.
see it.
Mhm.
No, yeah. What's coming up for y'all? Because I know, like, yeah, like it could be either response to that one in particular or to the original question. But I'm curious what else is showing up for you.
Well, for me, I know the purpose of life is to help people, is to help, is to serve. And I believe every one of you that's on here right now, you are serving. And as what Shira has referred to, God literally will bless those who are serving and providing a service to help people.
Hmm.
It's so true. I have my own challenges in my life, but I am serving. And my songs, they may be like painful and heart-wrenching, but in the end, there's light. There's positivity at the end of the song. There's hope. And if you think about it, a lot of music these days, they don't do that. And I've talked to many musicians, and in recording studios, they purposely bring down the frequency and vibration just to increase the sadness, increase the fear. And these are low frequencies that are going into our bodies as we listen to them. That's how people can get sick, which is why I am truly motivated to bring out my singing voice and help more of humanity, because I have a higher frequency and vibration that will help people to be uplifted and be in joy and be in love and be in peace and be in harmony. And when you have that, you look at life differently, you feel differently, and people around you will be different. As what Michael Jackson has said, it all starts with us. Change is starting with us. We have to change ourselves first.
100%. I was just gonna interject. I had no idea about that, but that is crazy.
No,
Especially when we're listening to music like all the time. Like you go down a walking down a mall and you have music blasting through the speakers. You don't even realize it.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. I love that.
yeah. So that's why I'm more than like, it's my push to be like, okay, I really have to help people. Mother Earth is going through major challenges right now, and the world is going through major challenges right now. We want that peace. We really do. And how can we do that? It all starts with us. And it really is, important what we listen to, what we watch, all of that affects our energy.
Christy, what's coming up for you?
It's interesting because when you first talk about the edge, I started thinking sharp, right? Like, okay, because I think I explained part of my edge, but then as we were starting talking, I was thinking about it. I think the edge is really just the beginning. It's not the edge. It's the beginning of a new era. It's the beginning of a new experience. So the edge is really that synthesis of where we're heading and where we're going. So you're always there and you're always going beyond. So that's what I was thinking when everyone was talking and kind of contemplating, what does that really mean?
I love
Totally.
that
Like
there.
the end is oh, sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say it's almost like that idea of like the end is the beginning of like the
Hmm.
end of something is the beginning of something else. That's so cool.
Hmm.
There's a great book by, I believe his name is Michael Bridges. It's called Transition. And one of the things I loved about that book is that um, it talked about every transition, every change, every transition actually starts with an end. We think it starts with a beginning, but like the beginning of something actually the precursor of that is something else ending. It's like this statement began when I ended the last one, you know?
Hmm.
And so there's something that's really like, I've always thought about that because whenever I'm trying to like, I'm like, why isn't this new thing happening? Why am I not able to transition into what's going on next? Like I feel like I'm ready for my next chapter. It's like, oh, because you haven't finished completing this chapter. Like there's a graduation ceremony for a reason. Like you finish and then you begin, you know? So I appreciate that. I like to see, I think I don't know, I think it's just important to make sure that we're able to see like how y'all are navigating it, you know? Like I get curious about what projects you're taking on. Like for me, like I'm building out like new infrastructure inside of my business. I'm like, this sucks. You know, like because I'm used to being out there. I'm used to talking to all y'all. That's fun. But like part of my edge right now is like, can I allow myself um to sit in the discomfort, which I think is different than uncomfortable, right? Like this is like it's like the discomfort of of building something that I don't know if it's gonna like how it's gonna be received, you know? And playing from that. And when you were Shira, you were talking earlier about your art and business. I have a number of different clients. Actually, like I think this is one of the big things with outliers who choose to bring the outlierness into their business. They're like I do it my way. Like how do I bring this unique gift that I have out there and be able to like stay commercially viable, you know?
Hmm.
And so like each of you have your own business, each of you bring in your own clients in different ways. I would love to like bring that into the conversation. There's no rights, there's no wrongs. I'm really just kind of curious about how you do it. Not anything for outliers. They're gonna make their own choices on it. But like what if you found that worked for you or like yeah, and how are you navigating it? Anyone want to get us started on that part of the conversation?
I'll go ahead because I'm actually a coach and mentor, and I do a lot of business coaching. And one of the things that I really focus in on and exactly that dichotomy, right, of that push pulls. On one hand, it feels like we're on totally opposite ends, but in reality, it really isn't. So what I do is I teach people that belief and also the business and how to bring that into a manageable so it's still authentically you, but also still financially viable. And financial health, as I've gotten older and learned more, is such a missing part of the picture. So it's really important to teach people that belief that they can create what's in their heart, but also pay their bills and not be in survival mode, but be manifesting exactly what they want through their future dreams. So I spend a lot of time coaching people on that exact thought is how do we put our systems in place, right? Which is kind of the mundane, the survival thinking. But then at some point we need to make that transition into this is my heart and this is how I'm serving the world and this is how I'm expressing myself. So I spend a lot of time teaching new people and business people how to do that.
Yeah, what would you say is like one of the biggest like bridges that like just going with that bridges that people have to make in order to not have to, but people that you see your clients make to do this? Like I'm in a very similar space, and I'm very curious about like, okay, when they get this, we're able to actually like open up the revenue for them and open up the like because you brought in real estate and wellness. Like you're one of the people that I think had like your art in a sense might be more of your art and expression might be more in the wellness part, but you found a way to marry the two of them through the work you do, where you're like, I see the beauty in even just walking through this clothes. So, do you mind sharing a bit about like something that you found really helps integrate the two?
Yeah, I think it really boils down to I think a lot of people that see themselves, how we see ourselves, right? How we look at ourselves in the mirror. I'm creative. And so we have that creative, but then we also have the other businesses totally opposite me. And I think that fear of not wanting to see themselves in that business state keeps people from holding back. So once we break down that barrier of fear and give them a belief and inspiration in themselves, and realize that it really is just a part and an expression of who you are, I think that breaks down that barrier so then people can understand, oh, okay. And then also too, we teach, principles, you don't have to do it all. You really don't. It's about bringing the people into your team that are going to support you. You might not be the perfect person to build out your systems, right? And there's so many different personality types, but you have somebody on your team that you bring on with you that's what they do. And that frees you up energetically to go in the direction that you need to go into. Meanwhile, the nuts and bolts, the business is being taken care of. So it's not a solo event. It's a group effort. It's collaboration. And so teaching people to understand that and just not being afraid of it, I think has been the biggest way that I've been able to really help bring that to their personal needs and what works for them. Because I actually have a client, I have a new team member who I just hired on my team who just got a license like a month ago, who's an artist. And we were having these conversations of, well, how do I bring that art side into business? And she felt kind of like, well, wait a second, I don't feel authentic if I'm asking for money from somebody because I'm an artist. And so this is the exact thing that we're working with her on is no, bring that, release that barrier for you. Now she's starting to synthesize it, and it's been fun to watch her blossom in that. Does that
Mm.
answer to your question?
You'll find this. Sometimes I ask questions and I don't need the answer to it. I ask questions for your response, not for
Yes.
your answer. And I literally just figured that out. Like I really just was able to articulate that just an hour ago. Where it's like this is it. Like this is the game. Like this is the outlier game. Where it's like it's not the way that we see things and choose to do things are different than others, which is why we're in different places than others, you know? And so I'm grateful for your response to that. I'm grateful for what it invoked from you. Shira, it looked like you wanted to say something. We'll go around here, and if not, then I might have then that's fine too. Don't feel like you need to make anything up. Shira's giving me that like, did I look that way? um, I want to bring in like I think it's an important conversation about like the expression and money, right? Like like the marriage between them, the expression and business, expression and being able to create from there. So want to see if any of y'all have anything else in here that you want to either say about it, either from your own experience or the way that you're thinking about it, or even just like some of the challenges you're going through it. I think that's it's there's a lot of us as outliers that are like the reason I'm an outlier is because I do something different than everyone else, and I can't, and I like, can I really make it work if I wanted to go all in on this for myself? And so, yeah, I think it's a really valuable piece of the conversation. Anyone have anything they want to toss in on it?
The answer is yes. If you believe yourself, you can totally do it and do it your way. That's what I teach people is do it your way.
Yeah, I like my thing that I found is I'm like there are people like if you look around, I'm right now in my office. I'm looking around all the things in my office. I'm like every single part of this was created by someone who and before it was even needed, you know? And then like eventually they made like other things happen. But like this microphone that you're hearing me on, it's like that's a made up thing. The phone that you're listening to, the headphones that you're using to hear it, like someone just made it up. And if you try to go back 100 years ago and said, "This is what I think I'm going to create," like it wouldn't have any people wouldn't get it, you know. And I think I oftentimes look at that. And I'm like, we have evidence all around us of people taking their expression and turning it into viable things to the point of whole industries being created from it. So like we can do you. Like that's not the hard part. The yes or no, can it be done? Not that's not the question. Anything else flowing from y'all on it? If there's no energy here, I'm going to go to we're going to wrap up here. I'm going to have us all share some insights we got from the conversation. But I want to yeah, anything else?
I,
All right,
sorry.
go
I
ahead,
think
Helen.
for me, I feel what is most important in our service is that we are doing something that we love. And when we love something that we're doing, energy flows more easily. That's when we manifest more easily. Everything in our lives become more easily, you know? So it's because we have tapped into our true mission, our true self, what we're meant to do on here. When you find that, that is your golden key to success.
All right, y'all. So we're just about there. Um, Outliers, like we're gonna hear in just a bit here from each of Christy, Helen, and Shira about how we can go deeper down the journey with you. All right. So share, like I've been asking each of you for that. And then we end each of our conversations with an insight that you got from today's conversation. All right. And so if you wouldn't mind, share one insight that you were taking away. And this is really important. This is really important to me. So I want to make sure I say it. Like there's insights and there are outsights. I don't want an outsight. An outsight is a message for outliers. Like outliers believe in yourself. Like, nah, we did that part. That part's done. This part is like, what are you walking away with? What is something that you learned as a result of this year? And if you're not taking anything away from you, that's fine. Like, just let me know. Um, but other than that, like I love to share like each space that we create is an opportunity for transformation and growth. And I'm very curious, like what, if anything, anyone has taken out from this conversation. So why don't we start with you, Shira? We'll go and we'll just do that. Would you mind sharing with us how outliers can, go further down the journey with you, how they can enter your world, and then, or continue in your world, and then what's an insight you got from today's conversation, if any?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to dive deeper into my world, I have my YouTube channel. I think the handle is Shira J Rodriguez. That's Shira J Rodriguez, and you can just look it up on YouTube. There should be only one. I put the middle name in, so that should work. Um, and um, and then you can also follow me on Instagram, again at Shira J Rodriguez. Um, I also have my short story, which was published in the Novelists in November anthology. So I have that there, which has been, yeah, it's been really, that's, I think, my heart so far. That's like the deepest you can go. You can really delve into, um, I think, my mind in a weird way. Um, and then an insight that I got from all y'all. I First of all, the fact that you are all together, and even even though we come from different places and we grew up in different ways and things like that, there's just a beauty to just seeing that people want and desire the same thing. Like we all yearn for um, wholeness and healing and to find purpose. You know, as you were saying, Christy, and as you were saying, Helen. Um, and again, I love that point that you made, Niiamah, about like um not just being like-minded but like-hearted. It's so interesting
So
because that
good.
is so true. I'd never even thought of it like that. So that's incredible. And then another insight was again that the fact that the media that we listen to and the things that we just intake, like I can't even explain it, like the places we go to, the things that we listen to, that we consume, they they affect us not just in a theoretical sense, but in a very visceral and like tangible way, even through vibrations and things like that, because essentially like at our core we're atoms and electrons, and the electrons at the bottom of it all, you know, even to modern physics, we have string theory, which is basically that everything is vibration. So, yeah, I loved that.
No,
Thank you, Shira. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing it to the
Oh,
table.
thank you.
Yeah, Helen, how about you? Let's share. You can share how we can go deeper with you, and then until you got from today.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Niiamah, for finding me because I am one of the podcasters that created it 2 years ago. And I went through some changes in my career. Like, I love teaching music. It's my passion, it's my drive, it's my love. And I got pulled out of it to teach grade 4. And I was shocked. and I couldn't finish my project. And now I'm thinking, how on earth did I get picked up, But I guess everything happens for a reason, And I'm so grateful to have had this experience. And you are such a beautiful soul. Like, I'm so grateful to have met each of you. You all want to make a difference. And, for those of you who want to dive into my world, you can find me on Instagram, Harmonic Sound Healing 888. And I have a link tree that is linked to my YouTube, my Facebook, my email, my website. I give 20-minute free consultations to help you with your physical, mental, emotional well-being. I help you clear blockages in your chakras, and I give you tools that you can use for homework and eventually go off on your own to heal yourself, to help yourself with your own blockages. And that is my goal, to help you help yourself in the end, is empower you. And my insight is, I'm so amazed at how many people want to make a difference to the world.
Yeah.
And we are all here together today because God put us here today. We're very, very aligned. And we all have this goal and mission, want to make the world a better place. Because what's happening right now is not working. The education system is not working. So that's why I created the podcast, and I haven't finished it, but maybe we'll see it down the road. Right now there's other priorities in my life, but at this time, I wish everyone all the best. And I love that we all want to make a difference. And I know it starts with us. And together we can make the world a better place. So thank you so much. Much love, peace, and harmony to you. And if you ever feel stressed, go to YouTube, Love, Peace, Harmony, and play that song. I am a volunteer from that organization, and I lead free meditations. So lots of love, peace, harmony to you guys.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Helen. All right, Kristy, why don't you bring us home for today? Would you mind sharing how we can go deeper with you, and then also an insight you got from today?
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, all over the net. But I guess probably the most central one would be my YouTube channel, which is Living in Roseville. Easy to remember. So, and everything's linked from there. So I guess that would be the easiest way. All my contact information is there. And the insights have been so just amazing. Thank you for hosting this and doing what you do and bringing people together. And I love your comment about, we're heart-minded, not necessarily like-minded, but heart-minded. That really touched, because I think we forget about our hearts so many times, and that was a good reminder. And Helen, what you do is absolutely phenomenal. I actually studied a lot of healing and sound therapy and sound healing, and it's amazing. And to be a practitioner, I've always wanted to meet a practitioner. Actually, that's always been one of my dreams, is to meet one. So here I am. So, thank you for sharing that, because it was phenomenal to listen to, and the passion in your voice, and it just reminds us to keep that passion always and be inspired. And it was just beautiful to listen to you talk. And Shira, same thing with you, your beauty. As you were talking, it reminded me of the beauty that sometimes I've forgotten in my day-to-day tasks, to bring that beauty, and that I really do operate in that state of beauty, and I need to bring that out more and express that more. So thank you for sharing that. I just got so many insights from all of you, and thank you all for helping me today and helping me grow.
You all are fantastic. I am grateful for you all. Outliers. This is the game that we get to play just because we show up, right? Like beforehand, we were four strangers, and now we're all like impacting each other. And my ask here as we wrap up for today is that you go out into the world and you share your gift. Share your gift with someone. Share it share in a way like share in a way that is uniquely yours to share. There's just something about this year where I don't think we get the impact we have on people when we're actually not like just allowing our brightness and our gifts and what it is about us to be expressed and shared out in the world. So I'll leave you with that here. Remember this until the next time we talk outliers. Go out there and be you on purpose. Journey on.